You get a raise. Finally, you're making six figures now, or close to it. You feel like you should be getting ahead. But somehow, your bank account still feels tight. Your savings rate hasn't really changed. You upgraded the apartment, maybe the car. You're contributing to your 401k, but not maxing it out. You got some investments, but nothing life-changing. And every year, your net worth creeps up a little, but not dramatically. You're not broke. You're not rich. You're just stuck, and you can't quite explain why. If that feels uncomfortably familiar, that's literally most of the middle class. I spend way too much time thinking about the $250,000 invisible wall keeping the middle class stuck. If you're someone who is stuck or stagnant about personal finance, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Look, here's the thing. There's a number that most people never consciously see, but they run into it like a brick wall. It's not a salary. It's not a debt limit. It's not a credit score. It's a net worth threshold, roughly $250,000. And here's what most people don't realize. That's the point where money either starts compounding for you, or you stay trapped trading time for money indefinitely. Let me explain. Part 1. Challenging the assumption. We're taught that income is the key to wealth. Just earn more, get promoted, start a side hustle. But according to data from the Federal Reserve's Survey of Consumer Finances, the median net worth for middle-income households in the U.S. is around $200,000 to $250,000, and that includes home equity, not liquid investments, not brokerage accounts. Total net worth, which means most households hover right around this invisible ceiling. And here's the kicker. Income alone doesn't break you through it. In fact, according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, consumer spending rises almost in lockstep with income increases. The average household earning between $100,000 to $150,000 spends roughly 80 to 90% of their income. Translation? The raise doesn't create freedom. It just upgrades your lifestyle. Part 2. The math of the invisible wall. Let's talk numbers. Say you've managed to build a $250,000 net worth. Maybe $150,000 in home equity, $70,000 in retirement accounts, $30,000 in cash and brokerage. Sounds solid, right? Now here's the math. If you're invested in earning an average 7% annual return, which is roughly the long-term historical average of the S&P 500 after inflation, that $250,000 grows by about $17,500 per year. That's helpful, but it's not life-changing. Now compare that to someone with $1 million invested at 7%. That's $70,000 per year, without lifting a finger. This is where it gets really interesting. The difference between $250,000 and $1 million isn't just 4x more money. It's the difference between investing helps and investing replaces your income. And most people never cross that gap. Part 3. The psychology keeping you stuck. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but I deserve to enjoy my money. Of course you do. But here's what most people don't realize. Your brain is wired for relative status, not long-term wealth. Psychologists call this hedonic adaptation. You get used to nicer things fast. That new car? Normal in 3 months. That upgraded house? Baseline in 6 months. The bigger paycheck? Already accounted for in your expenses. According to research from Princeton University, emotional well-being rises with income, but the sense of life satisfaction plateaus much sooner than people expect. Meaning, more spending doesn't proportionally increase happiness, but it does dramatically increase your fixed expenses. And fixed expenses are the real chains. Because once your lifestyle requires $8,000 per month instead of $5,000 per month, your freedom number jumps massively. At a 4% safe withdrawal rate, $5,000 per month requires about $1.5 million invested. $8,000 per month, you need $2.4 million. That's almost $1 million difference created by lifestyle creep alone. Part 4. Why most people stall here. So, why do people stall at this level? 3 big reasons. 1. They stop increasing their savings rate. Early in your career, you might save aggressively. Then income rises and the savings rate stays flat. If you're saving 10% at $60,000, that's $6,000 per year. If you're still saving 10% at $120,000, that's $12,000. Better, but not transformative. Meanwhile, someone saving 30% at $120,000 is investing $36,000 per year. That's the difference between crawling and sprinting. 2. They underestimate compounding speed after $500,000. Here's what most people don't realize. The first $100,000 is hard. The first $250,000 is slow. The first $500,000 feels like forever. But after that, compounding starts doing heavy lifting. At $500,000 invested at 7%, you earn $35,000 per year. That's a full-time job for many people. At $750,000, it's over $52,000. Now your investments are growing faster than your annual contributions. That's the shift. Part 5. How to break through the wall. Okay, enough diagnosis. Let's talk about strategy. Step 1. Increase your savings rate, not your lifestyle. If you're earning over $100,000 and saving less than 20%, that's your first lever. Look, I'm not saying live like a college student, but redirect raises automatically into investments. Get the promotion and pretend you didn't. That one habit alone can double your net worth trajectory. Step 2. Create automatic escalation. Here's a simple tactic. Every year, increase your 401k contribution by 1 to 2%. Increase brokerage auto investments. Increase side hustle income allocation to investments. Small, boring increases. Massive long-term impact. Part 6. The story that makes this real. I once talked to 2 friends. Same age, same income. About $110,000. Friend A upgraded everything over 5 years. Bigger house, 2 new cars, $7,500 vacations, private school tuition. Friend B kept living like they earned $80,000. Invested aggressively. 5 years later, Friend A had a net worth of about $280,000, mostly home equity. Friend B crossed $600,000 in investable assets. And here's the crazy part. Friend B didn't feel deprived. They just delayed upgrades. That's it. One is still dependent on a paycheck. The other could realistically coast to financial independence. That's the invisible wall in action. The middle class isn't stuck because they don't earn enough. They're stuck because they confuse comfort with freedom. $250,000 feels safe, but it's not self-sustaining. And until your investments can meaningfully grow without you, you're still on the treadmill. Look, you don't need to be extreme. You don't need to skip every latte. But you do need intentional acceleration. Because the difference between $250,000 and $1 million isn't talent. It's time and behavior and discipline during the boring middle. If this hit a little too close to home, good. That means you're aware now. Drop a comment with your current investing goal. Are you pushing for $250,000, $500,000, $1 million? And if you're serious about breaking through that invisible wall, subscribe, because this channel is about building real wealth, not just chasing income. Here's the thing. The wall isn't permanent. It's just invisible. And once you see it, you can break through it.